This meeting is about non-duality. Non-duality. Non-duality means not two. We are so used. Everything is two. We see relations. We see yourself acting towards circumstances. Everything seems real and solid, so you are there and circumstances are there. Relations are there, other people are real. You have to relate or you have to deal with what's going on. And that gives a feeling of, no, not only that, then before that, there's a feeling of I'm there. And when I'm there, there's something seems to be lost. And there's a drive to find that happiness or that feeling of oneness or freedom, what was there before. And not all the time it's really clear what is missing, but there's something going on and there's a drive to make it right. It seems like there's something wrong, not right yet. So the search is about feeling more comfortable, feeling freedom, but it's a search for yourself. It's a search that you or I feel comfortable, I feel free, I feel happy. And it's always changing. So there seems to be a problem. A problem is that it's not going all right, that you are not feeling good in that sense, you could say. So the problems start when there's a feeling of discomfort or imprisonment or something else. And it seems that circumstances or relations are the cause of that what is felt. So there's a search for good circumstances, a good job or more money, power, or good relationships, that it's working and that there's feeling a need for feeling happy. So that there in that relationship there's a responsibility to take care of each other and that the other person or yourself feels free or happy. And if it's not, then there's a looking or search for how to feel more free or how to do that, or asking the other one to change something. So there's always something going on to deal with circumstance, to deal with everything. And there seems to be a lot of problems, and there seems to be also that there's a free will and choice. So when it seems very obvious that there's a free will and choice, then there's a lot of thinking about what's the best way to do, or trying to exercise or to have therapy. Oh, wait, I have to enter. When there's no one, when it's obvious that there's no one, there are no problems. It's not meaning that it's always happiness or always feeling good. But there's not trying to make it different. There's no trying to make you feel good. Because there's no one. There's no one. And the funny thing is, there's already no one. So there's no need to look for that there's no one. And how can we do that? Or how can I lose that? That's the strange thing. When there's someone, the only thing what is obvious is to work on yourself or to work on circumstances or thoughts or behavior to get what you want, to get what feels good. And that's the way, it seems the only way. So when they're saying there's no me, then there are no problems. So that seems the right way. So how can we do that or not do that, or how is that working? So that's the way it goes. And then they're saying, no, it's already what is happening. But there's such a great, how do you say that in English? There's such a huge feeling of there's something not right, that it has to we have to do something. I have to do something. It's always about you. And you can't imagine, and that's where this is all about. You can't imagine what it is that there's no me, what it is that, how that looks. We are so into to make an image of it, or somewhere there's something going on like how that feels, that should feel. It's not a feeling, you can't imagine, you can't know it. That's also something we try to make it, to get it more, to understand and to get it clear. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you not understand it. It doesn't matter if it's not clear. Because it's everything. It's everything. Life is everything. So there's no good or bad. There's no better than something else. It's what it is. And that can be a feeling of discomfort. It can be walking. It can be the floor. There's no difference between things. There's a difference. You can see the floor is different than the hand. But nothing is more important than anything else. It's all unconditional love, you could say. And when there's someone, it seems like circumstances are real. I am real, circumstances are real, the body is real. The thoughts are my thoughts, feelings are my feelings. And then there's some message like this, and it's saying, it's not yours, nothing is yours. It's what's happening. It has nothing to do with you. There is no you. That's already the case. But it can be so convincing, and it's not only in the mind, it's embodied. So this message is also something energetic. You can't do it. You can't do it. This is about loss, and loss you can't do. There can be a loss of some concepts or beliefs that can happen in these meetings, or not. Maybe it's getting stronger. It's a survival system. It's a survival system of the me who tries to go on and go on. And there can be something falling away. For no reason, you don't know why. It doesn't matter to know that. And then it's like, oh, how could I believe that? But before that, the belief can be so strong, you can't see it differently. And it doesn't matter. It's also not about losing everything, because then you think, I have not lost everything. But when there's someone, it seems like there's a hearing of what can be done. What is, it's still not yet working, but there's something going on like that's not right yet. So there's a hearing of that. And what most of the time not is heard is, it's already everything. So nothing is lost. When there are a lot of thoughts, then there are a lot of thoughts. It's just life thoughting. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So we can talk about that. Maybe there are questions, and questions can be in the story. There's nothing that's wrong, or you can't do that in these meetings, because we know there's no me. So they're talking about the story is maybe a little bit a shame. Nothing is wrong. When there's questions about the story or something else, it doesn't matter. It's right. It's just what happens. Oh, there's a chat, so I will read out. Hi, Rose. Non-duality speakers talk about no safety for me or in this world. My question is, how do you decide to bring children to this world if you cannot protect them or cannot aspire for safety that doesn't exist? You want to protect children and make them safe. No one wants their children get hurt. No. It starts that there's a feeling you are there and you have a choice. You have a choice to do things, and it's because of your choice things are happening. There's no choice. There's no one deciding things. it's life happening. So when you can decide, I want children, and there are no children coming. You can decide, I don't want children, and there are children coming. So it's not up. We are so convinced that's up to us, that there is a decision, and because of that decision, things are happening. That has nothing to do with each other. There's no free will. So maybe there are children seems to be born, and there can be some wanting that the children are not to be heard. But what life is not interested in what we want. That's what we're not used to. What we think, what we want, that's very important, and we have to go for it. We have to do things to protect them, or to let them safe, or to do things that seems to be important. And we are so convinced that what is happening is because of us. The strange thing is, there's no one. So there's nobody deciding things. It's not because of us that things are happening. It's despite us. It's happening by itself. So there can be, somebody can be hurt, or there can be pain, but it's not because of you. There's no responsibility. That's strange, because with children, for example, we are very much into responsibility and taking care. Taking care happens or not. That's strange, because with children it can be very strong that you are a mother or a father and you have to behave in a certain way, or if you take care, or not listen to this, or anyway. There's no one. So there's no one taking care. It happens or not. So not what you want has nothing to do with life. It can be something wanting to have nice weather, or that's maybe not that strong, so that's not important if it doesn't happen. But when there are children, or a job, or money, or things like that, then it gets more important, because it seems like it's life-threatening, or it seems like, it gives a lot of pain when it's not going all right, or there's a fear. Maybe there's the fear. When there's fear, then there's fear. That's it. Nothing to do with the children, nothing to do with anything. There can be fear. That's it. And then it's going, and then there's something else. Walking or saying something.
Johannes wil zeker, Roos.
Wie? Oh, Johannes. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Rose. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question to Rose. You talked about the survival system of the me. But how could there be a survival system of the me when me didn't exist?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah. It's when there's something like, there's suddenly a separation. That's the abstract mind that can suddenly imagine like, there's someone outside and I'm here, And that seems that is separation. And in that, there arises something to, it's a story. So it's not real, that survival system. It's a story. But in that story, there's trying to be safe, trying to protect, trying to survive, and to do the things that seems to be important to survive. But that's a whole survival system. That's not real. It's a dream. It's a story. But you can talk about it because it's very, for most people, it's like their life, and that's what seems to happen the whole day. But of course, it's not real. It's a dream. So when the me is lost, you could say, nothing is lost, because it was only a dream. That whole abstract thinking, like I have to what we talked about, like, I have to protect, and there are a lot of concepts and beliefs about what's important that you do or not do. That whole construct that can be lost, but it's not real. It's like there's also no mind. There can be thoughts like that, but it can be so embodied, and it can be so strong that that's a certain energy.
Yeah,
That's
I see that.
the story, of course.
Yeah, because I see that in the background running the whole time to survive, to make the experience better. But I thought, when it's going on, or it feels like the survival system going on, what it tries to protect, there's nothing to protect. And there comes fear up quite sometimes when I hear this message, because there's nobody who used to be protected anymore. And there's fear, but who cares about anything then?
But you can say that to yourself, but that's just words then. Because there's something embodied it's not only a belief in the mind, it's so strong, and it can be such threatening that somebody's saying, oh, there's nothing to protect. Yeah, come on, hello. And it seems so important, and then suddenly some beliefs are not there, or not. That doesn't have to, that everything collapsed, but some beliefs, and you think, how could I think that? Then suddenly it's so obvious. But if it's there, it's obvious. It's really threatening. So you can't undo that, or you can't say that. Yeah, people think you can say to yourself, no, but it's all right, and you are safe. It's words. It's a concept. And then there's fear, but the fear is just fear. It's not because of I'm afraid to die, or things like that. We fill in why is there fear? It's fear. Fear can happen just like that for no reason. Nothing has any reason, but we are so into reason and cause.
Because somehow I understand there's no me there, there's no I there, there's no center in this, but I see that this try to protect goes on. But there's an understanding more or less that there's no center there, but this protection mechanism goes on. So when there's no center, there's nobody there who can do anything about it.
That's crazy that we feel that there's still there's already an understanding, and still there's that fear. How is it possible? But it's so embodied. So there's still something like, I don't want to die, something like that, and can be so strong. And it's not logic. It's not logic.
It's completely beyond logic. Because it's a clear understanding that there is no person there, but this survival mechanism goes on, and this protection mechanism, and trying to get benefits out of this life goes on still. And
there's still
there's a clear seeing that there are no benefits in life. For whom?
Yeah. But it's not being clear and the understanding of this message. That's also very. It can be. Yeah. How do you say? It's an understanding, but this is energetic. So there's something in embodied, and that can be. Yeah. It's not logic, but there can be a fear without anything that is threatening, but still it's there, and that's how that energy works, that survival. There's if you talk in the story, there is a lot of tension in the body and maybe emotions or things like there. So they can come up, and there's a fear for something. It's a story, but that can happen in that sense. So knowing or being clear it's just being clear. It has nothing to do with really know me, because then there's still some survival system and still something in the body that wants to survive.
Yeah.
And to survive means that me wants to feel good, something like that. Because it's afraid for pain or feelings, or it doesn't, that something is going wrong or things like that. And we have all things that sometimes it's with children or with money, or everybody has a different thing. And then suddenly it can be very clear, and then suddenly something happened, your relation breaks, and then like somebody says, I'm not loving you anymore, like that, and then the whole thing comes back.
Well, what I'm wondering about is I see that I could not make my life work somehow. Whatever I try, whatever I do, it's never correct, it's never okay. And there is a sense that when I'm not there anymore, life would be better or easier or whatever. I thought, why there's not just a giving up? Because all this trying, all this fighting, all this struggling, all this trying to make life work, nothing works at all.
Yeah.
I could not make my life work. So, but there's still this mechanism going on, seemingly that I have to try it again. I have to try a different way. I go to Non Duality. I try to understand deeper. I try to whatever. But there's no person there who could do anything about anything.
Yeah.
It's really strange. I thought there's a deep longing perhaps to give up, but I could not give up. There's no person there who could have a choice to give up or not give up.
Yeah. That's the struggle. That's what that's the surviving, and that mechanism can be so strong, and you can't understand it anymore, and still it's going on. It can be very clear. I know. It can be very clear, and still, there's something. Still, I was into very just looking at yourself and things like that, and I was so tired of that. And then, but still, and I was so clear also. And then still, there was some emotion, and it was still like, oh, what's that? What's going on? And then was doing something to feel relaxed again, and that was so subtle. And afterwards, I thought, oh, it's happening again, and I was so sure that it hasn't anything to do with that, but it can be so strong. It's not about the understanding is how do you say it's kind of superficial. It's a layer, and then it's something deeper, I would say, in that sense. But the strange thing is that when there's a certain feeling like frustration, or maybe that the frustration, the feeling that's it. It's not about a certain feeling, a certain way, something like, it's everything. So when there's frustration, or when there's that's it. And we think it's something else. It has to be maybe more relaxed, or maybe no, it's exactly what's happening. And that's that's so strange because we are not used to that. It's
I
already
really,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really have a hard time to accept that. That's really everything.
Hmm.
When I
Yeah.
feel more or less okay, then I say, okay,
Yeah.
that's it. But when I didn't
Yeah.
feel okay, then I couldn't say, oh, that's it too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's so strong. That wanting to feel good in a certain way. That's so strong. Yeah. Yeah.
That is really strange because it's really
Yeah.
everything. So, and
Yeah.
I just could accept a little part of it, not everything.
Yeah.
There's a really limited amount of things you allow to appear in my life.
Yeah.
Where I said, okay, I accept that the
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. But that's something else. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But this is also not my choice. All this wants and
No.
don't wants and so it's not my choice.
No, it's something energetic that goes on, and that's going on, and it seems like it's you doing that or not doing
Yeah.
that or thing, but you can say to yourself, oh no, it's not me doing that, but that's not a solution or something like that. We think that we're used to that, trying to work it out, that helps. It doesn't. It can be more clear or something like that. It can give more relaxation, but it's not it. Something, and that's strange because that's what we normally do. That trying to work out or trying to feel or trying to. Now everybody has different ways, and it's not about that. So that's the awful thing. That it seems like the way you are, that how to deal with things. It doesn't work with this message. So that is in some way frustrating also.
Yeah.
And the strange thing is, frustration or that feeling is it too. But we're also into well, we want to go somewhere, and it's thoughts happening. It's everything. It's frustration. It's feeling like that or anything. It changes. Yeah.
I think the problem is that you have a certain picture what awakened people looks like.
Yeah.
All the spiritual stories about Buddha, whatever,
Yeah.
about the blissful person all the time who are, you have all these pictures in your head.
Yeah.
Get there and so on. And to accept that it's really everything. There's a nice and there's not so nice things. It's really everything. That's absolute, like the circle. I just want to get the good things.
Yeah.
And
that's the confusion.
That's a really confusion. And
that's
for
confusion.
For a long time, you have this illusion more or less. Oh yeah, when I get there, then. But that's not the case at all. It's really everything.
Yeah. That's the confusing part. Yeah, sure. I know. Yeah. It's not about relaxing. It's not about knowing. It's not about happiness. We're so used to it. It's something or nothingness or whatever word. Yeah.
Yeah, because even the word, when we say nothingness or so, it feels like that nothing touched me anymore or something like that. When difficult situations comes up, I'm abstract from that and I'm in my blissful state, whatever. It seems like that, or for a parent person, it sounds like, oh yeah, when I'm there, I didn't feel any pain anymore, or I didn't feel, or it's a complete end of suffering or so. That's what the propaganda is. Oh, it's the end of suffering, but pain will happen.
Suffering. Suffering is something else as pain. Suffering is that there's always something wrong and you have to deal with that and you have to look for solutions and what is it, and that's more the suffering, that whole survival.
Pain will go on when pain is
pain
there,
can go.
But there's no
when
suffering from pain.
Yeah, and you can say emotional pain, but there's also pain where the car hits your leg. But there will be pain. Yeah. And the strange thing is, we are also, when there's someone and you're there, everything is real and solid. So it seems like also very important not to be hurt or something like that. But everything is an appearance. So nothing is real. It's apparently real. And that's, you can say to yourself, and that's just nothing. But sometimes it can be suddenly like, oh, it's an appearance. It's not real. So when there's pain, it's an appearance. It's apparently there and it's not. That's crazy because it's in the same time, it's also not there. You can't understand it or work it out or things like that. But it's funny to hear that it's like that. So it's different than when everything is solid. Seems to be solid.
And as long as there are just energetic contractions there, everything feels solid. You can't do anything about it. That's what's apparently happening.
Yeah.
And it feels as long as solid as it feels solid, more or less. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So,
That's it. Yeah. And it's not wrong. And when that's feeling everything is solid, and somewhere you hear about, oh no, maybe it's not solid or something like that. Then you want to see that everything is an appearance or something like that. Doesn't matter. It's not that it's better than seeing now that it's an appearance. No, because when it's solid, it seems to be so, then it's that.
And as long as the apparent person is there, everything is really solid.
Yeah.
And as soon as this illusion of self disappears, everything, the solidity of the whole appearance disappears. But it goes on as long as it goes on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's also the dream, that everything, that makes everything important, that everything can happen and do, and when it's suddenly it's obvious that there's everything is only an appearance, and it's apparently there and not. That's the freedom. But so it's, you can't do that. No.
Yes, somehow it's sense, because where is tomorrow? Yesterday, it's gone. You couldn't find it. There's just this apparent appearance of solidity just in this moment, more or less. But the next moment it's gone. It's completely changed again, and there's a sense that there's no solidity at all. But
and even there's no time, and we know there's no time in holiday and things like that. But no time means also no before and no after. So no, not 5 minutes ago that somebody said to you and you feel horrible. It seems like that because of that what was said. No, it's just feeling horrible, maybe feeling like that. That's it. It's not because of anything.
And all the emotions, all the thoughts, all the things going on are just appearing just in the moment. And I really feel, I'm really angry, or I'm really sad. So 5 minutes later, you completely forget about it.
Yeah.
Where's the sadness from 2 minutes ago? It's gone. Just the story
it's amazing. It's amazing how that works.
So solid,
Yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. When I was young, I had other people's eyes were very important to me. I was very self-conscious, and so when I looked at other people's eyes, I, I, I suppose I was assuming there was a mind behind that, and they could judge me, and I would always think that they were very solid. There was something very solid behind those eyes, something real, and I didn't feel that real myself, and so it was scary, and it was very difficult to look into someone else's eyes. I had to really, yeah, it was difficult to trust, to feel safe. I felt unsafe, just that sort of thing. So it was very painful, and that happened. That was for quite a number of years. But somehow it was like I had to build up something solid behind my eyes, sort of thing, to withstand this thing. But it still felt that behind other people's eyes, it was something more solid than what I had. Like I was pretending there was something.
Ah, yeah.
And so over the years, I mean, I'm a lot older than that now, and somehow it isn't such a big, scary thing. But there's still the thought that those eyes. It's not like looking at someone's nose or their forehead or their chin. There's something special about eyes. There's something behind that. There's a mind, and there's thoughts going on there. So, and this message seems to be that there's just, when you look into someone's eyes, there's just eyes. There's just appearance of eyes. There's nothing. There isn't.
Yeah, but it can be a feeling, or there can be when somebody looks at you, they're like, oh, something like that. It can be like that. There can be anger, and then you feel it, or something like that can be there. But yeah.
But it's not. You're saying it's not. That feeling is not connected with the idea that there's something behind it. Something behind those eyes. The eyes are something special. They're
No, but I think, yeah, it's more like there's what you say, there's a pretending, but that's that whole survival, that's the dream, that's that whole survival system. And there can be, you can see it in the eyes that there's sometimes a lot of anger or something like that. But so what? Yeah, can be there.
But the idea that the eyes are special, they're not like other people's eyes. They're it's not like a nose or
No, yeah.
Behind the eyes, there's the
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that can be, it reflects something. Yeah, that can be like that.
But you're saying that if I look in someone's eyes, or if they have blue eyes, there's just blue eyes. There's nothing behind it. There's no mind behind it.
There's no mind, but you can see sometimes when there are eyes and somebody is looking and think, whoa, what's going on there? And I don't know what, or something like that, but there can be seen something. Yeah, but then it's gone. Yeah.
But
It's
you're
different.
saying that there are no minds.
No.
So there's no mind
No.
behind the other people's
No.
person's eyes. There's no.
No, but I don't know, but when there's somebody's looking, sometimes you see that there's sadness or anger, or I don't know, that you can't see that. And so what? I don't know why or something like that, but and I don't know, it's more like, oh, it feels like that, but no big deal, something like that. But it can show like something, eyes can reflect something. Yeah.
So one might respond or behave appropriately if someone has angry look or something. But I think that's different to what I'm saying. That this whole, maybe I'm not explaining myself, or maybe this is such a peculiar to what I used to go through, that I had a special thing about other people's eyes, you know, and being self-conscious.
Yeah, it's about self-consciousness. I can understand, because it's important when you feel looked at, that it feels like a bit uncomfortable or something. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And there's a chat also. Even if there's no, it's also about children. Even if there's no good and bad, why is there not good judgment? For example, if someone comes to attack, saying it's not bad, will not allow the police to arrest him. If someone comes to attack, saying it's not bad, will not allow the police to arrest him. There can be judgments, and saying to when somebody is coming with a knife, you say, "Oh, how bad," something like that. It can be like that because it's threatening. Well, yeah, that's in the story. It's not that you can't say something that I don't find that nice or something. You can do that. That can come. There's no good and bad. It's good and bad. It's always related to a good feeling. If it feels good, it's good. And when it feels bad, it's bad. I don't know. It's just what's happening. When there's somebody attacking someone, it can be very painful. That's what's going on. Pain. It's not good or bad. It's pain or other feeling. We think that because of our judgment, something is going to happen, or there can be, yeah. It's the story. It's a story, judging someone. It's what's happening, and that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's like that's what's happening, and maybe there's calling the police or not. I don't know. We are so into good and bad, and it seems that when somebody is attacking someone, that's threatening. So that feels, everything is related to me, to yourself, and that feels threatening also to you. So it's bad then. It gives not a nice feeling, and that's how we seem to judge everything. But it's always related to yourself, and try that you don't feel good. This is not about feeling good or happy or whatever. It's about what is. It's not saying this is not happening or something like that. It's not denying anything. It's saying what it is. Not doing anything with it. And it can be anger. There's another one. It seems that there's no safety at all, but that it's still okay. There is no safety. There never has been safety. That's what's in the dream, that we want to feel safe, and we want to, when we want to feel safe, that we have to do something to behave in a certain way, maybe, or things like that. And we think that will make it safe. It's a dream. It's a misunderstanding. It's never safe. You don't know. We don't know. That not knowing, that seems to it's threatening, because we want to know. We want to be safe and know that if we go there will not happening something bad, something like that. You don't know. We don't know. That's how life is. And the dream says, or when there's someone, it seems like, oh, we have to be busy to protect or to be safe or to do something. and it doesn't work. Oh, we didn't do it hard enough, and we didn't work hard enough, and oh, it's because of that you did. Oh, it goes on and on. It's endless. And not being safe is not a big deal. It's like it already was. There's the only thing that is not there is that there's something going on like do I feel safe or not safe, or that whole thing is not going on. It's just sitting somewhere or not knowing, but it's not a big deal. It's very normal. But there's nothing trying to make it into something that seems safe or free or something else. It's what it is. It's too simple. That's the strange thing. It's too simple. We're so used to make something on top of it and call it bad or good or safe or free or something else. It's what it is. That's all. That's it. And that can be painful or sitting. Nothing more than that. It's very small and normal. It's very direct. There's nothing going on about the next moment or something like that. There's no next moment. There's this. And then maybe there's something going on, and then there can be anger or I don't know. Or nothing saying nothing. I don't know. That's not wrong. That's what's happening. That seems such a relief to just see what is there and not see what is not. Yeah, you can't see what it's not. We are so into the mind, making up all sort of things. That's why I call it a dream, because there's so many things going on. What if she had not? What if we didn't have enough, and then she came, and then what? A lot of thinking about anything, and it's just nothing. It's just words or thinking. That's it. Maybe there's fear, and then there's fear. There are no solutions. There are no answers. There don't need to be answers. It's this. Moving the hands. A feeling. Seeing a computer screen. There can also be a lot of worrying about something that maybe can happen, and that goes on and that goes on. That's not wrong. That's just a certain energy that goes on in thoughts, maybe. And it's not about not doing that. Maybe there's something going on like, oh, something falls away and it seems it's still there, but it seems not that solid and that strong anymore. That can happen. Okay, another chat. Last month, I heard of a man who saved 2 girls from dying in a car crash. He heard an inner voice who directed him what to do and where to go in order to do that. How can it be nothing? Wouldn't you say it's higher intelligence at work? No, I don't. I don't see higher intelligence. That can happen. And it seems that there are a lot of things that we like to hear that, because we think, oh, I want to have that inner voice, and how special is that? And those girls were saved, and that's very good, and things like that. Maybe, and next time, maybe there's not an inner voice, and there's a car crash, and there's a fire, and they die. It's always about this is right and this is wrong, because it feels good. If you want that, then that's what's going on, and thinking that's better than something else. But that's also the suffering. Something is better than something else. So when there's something, it's not about better or worse. It's about what's going on. When there's something going on like that, that can happen. Anything can happen. But there's nothing better than something else. And that's strange to hear, because we're so into when it feels good, or when it's surviving something or saving somebody, that's good. And when you don't succeed, it's not good, it's bad, or it's awful. Okay, that saving part, that's nice, and we want to hear that. But then there's the other side, like, oh, it didn't work, or I tried, but it didn't work, or did I do enough? And oh, there was something going on. I didn't do what I needed to do. Oh my God, why didn't I do that? Maybe I have to do it next time. And that part is also the same. That's the suffering. There's no one. So it's life happening. And it can be in all kinds of ways. You don't know. Inner voice, stupid voice, no voice, anything can happen. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And that's not wrong or right. It's what's happening. That's it. Cool.
Hello, Rose. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Feels like there's something so beautiful going on here. It's like there's a quality or something. Really feels it's amazing. It's really strange, because it doesn't feel like, I would say it's an emotion, but it's not an emotion. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's really amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Can you say something about this beauty? Where does it come from? Where is it?
Life is beauty. Life is it. Life is that. It's in everything. But we're so into everything is solid and this is better than that, and it seems that's the looking for that. But you can't say what it is, because it's everything, and that's can see it in really little children. It's everything, and it's being in love in some way. And you could say it's being in love. Not that you like everything, that's something else, but it's unconditional. It's everything. And it can be ugly or beautiful, or that has nothing to do with that love, but it still can be love. In that sense, that's life. Life is that. It's amazing. You can't even, how can you call that? Yeah. Mm.
Thank you very much.
Thanks you. Oh, there's another chat. Rose, does all the suffering of the me cause any changes or effect in the person? Oh, does all the suffering of the me cause any changing of effects in the person, or is it just an extra add-on without any effect? Oh God, that's all the suffering cause any change. No, there is no person. And the suffering is more, there can be a lot of thoughts going on about something. About this. And what's going on, like feelings or walking in the woods or in the city behind a car or anything. It has nothing to do with each other. It seems like everything is related, but it's not. So there can be walking there and a lot of going on in the head about what's there. It's both. But nothing has to do with anything, and there's no one. So it's not for you, or it's not that when there's feelings that I am feeling that, and that's because of that and that and that. There's no one, so there can be feelings, but they are not happening in the body. The body is also not real. It's also an appearance. So that's also something like we are so into that the body is ours and it's solid and real. It's an appearance. And when there's a feeling, it happens in space somewhere. This isn't yours. It's a feeling, can be there, and then it's gone maybe, or something else is going on. And there can be a lot of things going on in the head, a lot of thoughts, trying to find a solution. That's also energy, apparently. It's denying nothing. It's not denying anything. Anything can happen. A lot of thoughts. Having an inner voice. It's also a thought.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi. It sounds like music, whatever you're saying. Somehow,
Oh.
it's not even the meanings of the words you're using. There's it's so beautiful. It makes me just tears come into my eyes. All the questions you've been answering, everything, just so beautiful.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the meeting. Thank you for doing this. So appreciated.
Great. I love it.
I can see that on your face. It's very transparent. All your feelings, and it's so obvious you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah. And it's not only in the meetings. The funny thing is, then it's everywhere. It's not that it's feeling good all the time. That's something else. There can be, anything, kind of feelings or thing. But still, there's that joy in a way. And but that's not my joy. It's life. Life is that. That's the amazing thing of this message. Life is that joy. And that joy doesn't mean I'm glad all the time. No, it's everything. You see it in really little children. It's everything. It's changing, moving, changing, glad, for no reason. That's it. Feeling sick. And it's also that when it's so obvious, then there's nothing is real. Everything is an appearance, and it's apparently happening. It's not saying to yourself, "Oh, this is an appearance. It's all right," or something like. No, that's a concept. But when that whole solid thing that there seems to be something happening or that's important, it's lost. I can't say why or how it works like that. And then that's the freedom. That's, oh, wow, and it's so simple. It's the most easy thing there is, because nothing is going on. Nothing is trying. Nothing is busy with things, sometimes for a moment, but it's very easy. It's just going. It's like that always, but we think we have to do it. And that's the amazing part of the message. There's no need for anything. And we think, oh, like human, we have to do it. We have to deal with that. We have to take care. We have to be responsible. And it's a lot of work and a lot of suffering and going on. And in the same time, everything is going like that already. And we think we do that. It's because of us. No, there's no one. Whoa, that's the freedom. It's also a laugh. It's also laughing, not about people that believe that, but it's like, oh my God, it's like this. Oh, I worked for years like that. And I couldn't do it differently, of course. It's like that. That's the energy. It's going in a certain way. That's life. But it's amazing that nothing is needed. Wow. It's what it is. And you don't need to look at a plant and think, oh, wow, how beautiful. No, it's just, maybe you see a plant and nothing is going on, or a beautiful rose, and you see it and nothing is going on. You see it and you walk, and does it matter? It's what it is. Nothing matters. Not in the sense that you say, oh, nothing matters, everything is all right. No, nothing matters like it's everything.
So Rose, if everything is it and nothing matters, so it doesn't really matter what you do. It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all that. That doesn't mean that it can feel uncomfortable or something else, but that's what's happening. An uncomfortable feeling or something else that can happen, of course. But it's not wrong. That we think that's wrong, and then there's something not all right. No, that can happen. So everything is everything. Yeah. Yeah.
So not helping somebody sometimes is also okay, and helping somebody is also okay. Whatever.
No, it's not about okay, because that's something else. Because that's reassuring yourself. Not helping somebody is not helping somebody. That's it.
There's nothing, no more meaning than that. That's it.
Yeah, it's very neutral. Yeah. And it can give a certain, of not give, there can be a feeling about that. You think like, oh, that's not, but that's that whole dream that goes on. That can be there. There can be suddenly not helping anyone or helping somebody. But that's life. That's not you doing that. That's life. We see everything as solid, like circumstances, what you do, what the body is doing. It's like, oh, you're doing this, that. You're stopping for that car or not. It's life. It's energy. It's an appearance. But we see it everything as real and this circumstances and what he has done there, and the whole story goes on. It's much more simple.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you. There was also, it was a long time that when I was in meetings, I always gave meetings and always in other things too. And I was always thinking like, when I'm sit in front of the meeting, I have to show myself in a certain way. It has to be quiet and it has to be friendly and all kinds of, and so I was sitting, your knee, your legs had to be, the feet has to be on the ground and all kind of things. And that's also the freedom. There's nothing going on about behaving. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't, maybe it's very silly looking, or I don't know. I don't care. That's also the freedom. Yeah.
There is a question coming up where quite often this non-duality talks about an openness for this message or readiness or a resonance. And the question arises when there's everything that's whole and complete already. There ain't have to be any openness, any readiness for anything because it's already whole and complete. Could you say something about this? Because one hand is the understanding it's already whole and complete. There's no gap in between anything because it's already whole and complete. And so, because sometimes when I go to those meetings, I said, okay, I have to sleep well when I go to the meetings to be as open as possible or whatever. But there's no way I could be any other way as I'm showing up in my meetings.
Yeah. It's in the story. When there's talking in the story, there can be a resonance, or there can be, and not for anyone, but there's an openness, and that's more about the it's embodied, so it's energetic. There energetic openness. So you can't do that. Wait one moment. You can't do that, but that's in the story, of course, because it's otherwise you can't say that it's already everything. So, but it's not in the story. It's like, there's a feeling like, now I have to look for it, and somewhere else there's something else. There's something you can't catch it, but that's that resonance. There's something, not knowing, but you somewhere. It's like, that's it. But I had that long time because I didn't understand, but somewhere I felt like, that's it, or some way. So something like that. And that's energetic. The openness has to do with that embodied feeling, that embodied energy from like that survival system. And there can be an openness or not. It's not yours, but it's sometimes there's talking to someone. Then there's talking and they're asking questions about. Somebody asked a question about my book, and there was no I couldn't say anything. I couldn't talk about what was going on, what I was writing in the book. So you feel there's no opening. There's no not wanting to hear, or I don't know how, but something like that. And sometimes there's an opening, and then it's very easy to talk. Something that can be there. It's just an example of how that can work. But it doesn't, it's not from the person, so you can't, that's just a way of talking. You can't do something about, can I be open or not? No, that you can't do anything. It's just a way of talking, and that's, you can't, there's nothing given in the hand like you can do something with that. Yeah.
Because what I recognize when I go to meetings or so, that I get tired or so at the meetings. I'm looking forward for a meeting for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month ago. We go to a meeting and then I fall asleep or so. What's going on there? I try to be open. I try to looking forward for the meeting.
It has nothing to do with that. It can be very tiring, because then there's maybe something relaxing, and it's not that whole drive, that trying to do something to be open, or it doesn't get feeded, so it just falls a bit down, and then there's feeling the tiredness of all that working, and that I had that too. That there was so much working and trying, and then there was no answer. So it did relax in a certain way, and then I felt so tired or fell asleep, and it's the funny thing is it still goes on. You don't need to be awake.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's not about understanding or things like that.
Yeah, because I was in Tony's meetings or so.
Mm.
Sometimes when I leave, I thought, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Mm.
That's, I understand that there's no me there to get anything,
Yeah.
but there's still this, oh, yeah, you miss it. You miss it. You have the
Yeah.
chance to open up to this.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get a chance that you failed again or so. This is this
Mm.
story of failure, of missing out, of
Yeah.
not good enough or so comes up after a meeting or so quite often. Or so, oh, you're not good enough to you have to try it again, or you
Yeah. Yeah.
try harder or whatever.
Yeah.
All this,
Yeah. Yeah.
all this programming kicks in.
Yeah. Yeah, and it can
Right,
also
yes.
be that it can be very strong, and then it's in this in another way. It can also be that that whole trying is not working. It's not
Yeah.
giving energy, so it falls down because that hard work, it has to be feeded. It has to be constantly energized, because when it's not energized, it falls down. It falls down. It's just, that's how it works. It's just don't get any answer, so like that. And then it feels like, oh, but we're so used to do something with it, or to try, or to be open, or to feel, or whatever. And if we don't, we think we fail. But it's not like that. It's not failing. It's just everything is like that. That's the loss where we talk about. Yeah. Loss is not something you want normally.
Yeah. Yeah. This kind of loss is there's this looking for this loss of have to do something, have to earn something, have to to get out of this kind of hamster wheel, you know.
Yeah.
This kind of loss is looked for somehow to ain't have to try anymore.
Yeah.
But it goes on as long as it goes on.
Yeah, because there's also a fear of failure that can be there, and when that can be very strong, and then that whole system is feeding. It's like, yeah, but you didn't walk, or you didn't listen well, or all words like that, thoughts like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I see that this programming goes on.
Yeah, that's the programming. Yeah, something like that.
So when you go to meetings or so, there's no openness, or there's no opening up, or something. Oh, you feel you're not good enough, or whatever.
Yeah, that can be so strong. That's survival. That's so strong. That belief in certain way, but embodied belief can be so strong in that. And that goes on, and then it's and it feels like, just like that, and it's energetic, yeah. But you don't, because normally when it goes like this, you think, oh God, what did I do? And then it goes on, because it feels not like, oh, this is all right. Well, it is.
Yeah, there's this kind of tension field the person is in.
Yeah.
There's sometimes a really high tension, more or less, to function in the world and whatever. There's the collapse, more or less, and then the tension happens again.
Yeah.
Or the whole time there's kind of tension field, energetic tension field.
Yeah. But tension is not because of anything. Tension can happen still, can be still there. There can be suddenly some tension. I don't know, it can be there. It's not my tension or because of something. Tension happens like that. So it's not, we think it's wrong, I know. But it's just that little or like that. Yeah. And then it's something else. Yeah.
It's also just what's happening.
Yeah, sure. It's not yours. It's not mine. That's what normally goes with that. It's like, oh, I'm so tense, and what's going on, and what did I do, or what did I think, or the whole thing goes on. Oh, we are in the circle again, and it can't be different. It's like that. It's just so strong, and then suddenly, like, it has nothing to do with anything. Huh? Well, yeah, it goes on. It goes, and it doesn't matter because when there are a lot of thoughts, then life is sorting, then so on. But it doesn't feel like that because we want something else. That's so can be so strong.
Somehow we are, or I think I'm identified with this tension quite often. Oh, I'm this tense person and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on there. And there's looking for this relief from this tension somehow. For years now.
Yeah.
And
I know.
That's I think where I go to non duality, so to get rid of this tension, to relax a little bit more.
But the strange thing is, and it's not to do with you, it's like when it's a relief, then there's going to a meeting with Tony or something, and there's nearly falling asleep like that. Then there's a relief. But then there's something going on like, what you're doing there? It's not looking, it's not listening to what he's saying. And then it's and that relief where you were looking for, it's like, oh, but that's different as what I was looking for. And so it goes on. It's amazing how that works. Yeah, it's amazing. And you can't do anything about it. But it's like that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks. is what is happening. There is only what is. And there can be a dream of a lot of thoughts, but thoughts is what's happening. Stress or tension is what's happening. It's not happening to you, it's happening. And life is everything. It's everything. So it can be stress, it can be moving hands, and it's not your moving, it's not your stress. There's no one. There's nothing inside, there's nothing outside, and there's nothing inside. It's what's happening, what is seen, what is heard, what is felt. But it's not felt by someone. It's a feeling. It's there, can be there. Life is everything. It can be watching, it can be sitting. And there can be a lot of thoughts about that. And they're thoughting. And thoughts don't have any power. You're so convinced that there's thoughts and there's making a lot of effort to try to work it out. It can be there, but it's just only thoughting. And then there's life going on, like walking or crossing the street. It's closing the computer. It's sitting. It's what is done. It's what is happening by no one. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Great.